Hello, today we're going to review the hot wire tilt table construction manual by Dave Langkamp. That's me, from Dave's Designs and the Tinker's Workshop. This is the manual, and here of course is the opening page. So we're just going to flip through here and read through the manual and show you what's in it. The build manual, what happened with this, after searching online for a hot wire table design to build one of my fiberglass foam composite projects which needed special cutting, I realized there was no such table existed, so I designed this one. This is a special hot wire table that tilts. The bed tilts, and normal hot wire table that doesn't. And if you take a look at my blog site, you'll see a couple of the different projects that this table was used on. My foam composite trailer for my motorcycle, and also my three-piece triac foam composite kayak. This was used extensively. This hot wire table was used extensively in both of those projects. So we're going to flip through here. The tilt table is constructed of 8 sub-assemblies. Each sub-assemblies are small and simple to construct and can be completed in a very short time with minimal tools. We'll go through here, and so there's a table front frame, a table support 2, hot wire arm, hot wire base table, tabletop, hot wire table, and rip fence. This has a complete set of tools, listing of what tools you need too. This is the hardware list. It shows different screws, Phillips screws and bolts, carriage bolts, washers, nuts, wing nuts. Not a tremendous amount of hardware. Mostly it's wood screws here. I see there's 1.25 inches, or I should say 1/4 inch, 1 inch long wood screws. There's 30 of those. Washers, there's a couple of dozen of those. So again, there's not a lot of hardware in this project, in this page. Materials here for plywood, you have 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch plywood. Most everything else is made out of stock 2x4s and 2x2s, and a little aluminum plate and we'll see this when we go through the manual. The pointer is made from a brass strip. Steel door hinge. It's a standard hinge you get for any hardware store. And let's see, these the material tools list. It has a Phillips screwdriver, assorted wrenches, socket set, hand saw or table saw, best for accuracy, a hand drill or a drill press, again drill presses would be better, a jigsaw, a hammer, marking pencil, varnishing brushes, sandpaper, varnish, polyurethane varnish works fine, tape measure, and a wire cutter. The table, this is the table front frame. This is the instructions that tells you what's going on here. And in this manual, we'll go through the drawings along with this. These are all exploded views and different diagrams that show you how to put together the table front frame. And then it goes into the table support. And again, 2 pieces for a table support, couple of screws, real simple construction. Table support 2, same process, only 4 screws and a couple of parts. There's a little spring plate and a spring, and washers, and again it's all diagrammed very well and explains exactly how this all goes together. This is the hot wire arm. Again, it's just a couple of 2x4s and some mating gusset plates. And it's all screwed together, and then it's all bolted to the lower assembly. This next section is the hot wire base table. And here's the arm again, and then these are the 2 sub-assemblies that we just talked about, is the table support 1 and 2, and then the table base. And this shows how it all gets bolted together. This is the tabletop itself. It's the tilt table mechanism itself, and it shows the different hardware that goes into it. 3/8 inch by 2 carriage bolts. There's 2 of them, and then it shows the instructions very plainly here. It's very well illustrated. This is the hot wire table. Actually, this is actually close to being built here already. These are the arms, the guide arms to show the tilt, the angle of the tilt for the bed itself. Here's a couple more good diagrams of the machine, the hot wire table bolted together and assembled, and shows how to mark the screws to get the screws lined up right so this bed will tilt correctly. Again, another diagram with the placement of the screws and a little block in here to get your height right. Then you go into the rip fence. There's a rip fence on this. Go to the next page here. There we go. Here's the rip fence. And again, it's nothing more than a 2x2 and then a plywood face, and it's all screwed into the 2x2 with a couple of gusset plates and some smaller blocks. These are just some clips for the wires that come up to the to power the hot wire table. Some photographs of the arms with the labeling on them, and the little guide. It's just a little metal strip that can easily be cut with a tin snips and bent into shape. Here's the actual guides. This gets blown up to the size that you need for the arms, backtrack to the arms. And so you take it over to like Copyworks or Kinko's, and they can blow this up to the size that you need. But it's scaled. It's not to scale in this drawing, but once you blow it up, you can get, as long as you get this an inch wide, when you finish, it'll be the right size that you need. So you got a right side guide and a left side guide. And here's another set. It's a little bit, looks a little different. You may like it in color. Again, there's a left and a right, and just scale it up so these are an inch wide, and they'll mate up on the arms very, very well. So it's a very quick assembly from what I see here, from what I designed. And we'll jump forward to the drawings. In the plans, you have a complete set of drawings showing you all the dimensions for all the parts. This is the assembly drawing of the tabletop itself, and it shows all the miscellaneous components and a listing of what parts go where and how it's assembled. And this is the tabletop, and this is your little pointer. Again, it's just made of brass or aluminum, and you can just cut this with a little tin snips and drill it out, and it's real quick and easy to bend. Here's some of the locking pin blocks, and these are just made out of pine, and they're 1 inch square. It gives you all the dimensions, very well designed and laid out to give you all the dimensions you need. This is the table itself, and shows the slots that are in here and how far apart. You drill a couple of holes and then take a jigsaw and cut those slots out. Same with this big one in the middle. But it's all dimensioned very well. This is 3/4 inch plywood, so it's a very solid table. So that gives you the tabletop assembly. Let's go to the next section here. This is the hot wire table again. This shows an overall construction of what parts go where. This shows where the hinges are and what various components are in the assembly. An exploded view, and shows the different sub-assemblies that are in it. Here's the framework and the table itself and the arm and the tilt arms, the guide arms I should say. Again, more sub-assemblies. Shows where everything is at, so you can take a look at these and gives you a much better idea how this is all put together. Here's your guide arms. Arc guide, actually. There's the correct terminology. And it shows you how to lay this out. Simplest way is to put in the directions it tells you, you put a pencil with a string, and you can make these arcs just the way it is. And it's showing, it's all dimensioned, it's all right up to industrial standards, so that you can get something that's made that'll last you a good long time. So the next thing here we're looking at is the rip fence. And these plans, there we go, there's the rip fence. We've got, again, a complete assembly of the rip fence here. It tells you all the parts that are in it. And that's a breakdown of each individual component and how to make it. Most of this is made out of just straight pine. All the different components. Just very simple construction. This is made out of 3/4 inch plywood, and it is 6 inches by 25 1/4 inches long. Again, it's very well dimensioned. It shows you every last little detail you need to make the assembly. And then the little gusset plates that are a 1/2-inch plywood, and it shows all your holes and diameters that you need to drill through to put the screws in and make the assembly for the rip fits. The next one here is this is the table front frame. Again, it shows the entire assembly and a breakdown of all the components in the assembly. And then again, just piece by piece. It's just these are nothing more than standard 2x4s, and this piece is only 20 3/4 inches long and standard 2x4. And then it shows 4 holes that are drilled into it for mounting. This is a plywood, 3/4 inch plywood that is 23 3/4 inches by, well, it's 23 3/4 inches square. And again, there's a few holes in here that are drilled out. And again, you follow the directions in the manual, and it has all the dimensioning you need to lay this all out. Again, here's the support for the end table. Another, it's just a 2x4 with about 6 holes drilled in it. Very, very simple construction. The next section is the table base. Again, here's a 3D view of the assembly and all the components laid out. Tells you exactly what's what and a complete description of what's in it. And this is the tilt table itself, a spacer. Again, it's nothing more than pine, and gives you a 3/4 inch by, gives you a dimension 0.875. Again, this is all in the manual. Tells you step by step how to do this. But all these drawings help a lot. Tells you piece by piece exactly what dimensions you need in order to put this all together. Here's your standard hinge, just a regular door hinge. Nothing special. You can buy these over at Lowe's. Get one comparable to this one. If you're off a little bit, it would not hurt at all. It's just to make the tilt mechanism all work. Very, very simple to do. So the next section here, let's see what we got. This is the hot wire arm itself. What this is an arm like this, and then a wire comes down, and so you can cut your styrofoam, and it works very, very well. And this is just an arm. Let me backtrack here. An arm with a couple of gusset plates. It's just two 2x4s, and then they're bolted through. You can show bolting that goes on in here. But again, a complete list of what's in the assembly and a breakdown of each individual component, piece by piece. And it's mostly just 2x4s and gusset plates and a few screws and some nuts and bolts down in the lower section here. This is the table support 2. This is it's spring loaded. What it is, the wire attaches from the arm down to a spring so you can put tension on it. This way you can pull it tight, and it gives you some movement in it, and it works very well. Again, a complete list of what all you need: nuts and bolts and washers and screws and a spring, and so it's all laid out here in the drawings here for the table support 2. It gives complete dimensions for the spring that was used, and gives you diameter and the length. And it says any spring close to this size and shape will be usable in the final assembly. So it's not real critical. As long as you don't get something that's too small or too large, you want to have it move somewhat so that you can tighten it up. The hot wire itself, and there's a little gusset plate, a little plate that you need in the assembly for the spring. And again, just another 2x4 with about 6 or 7 holes in it. And then another, it's called the table support, back table support. And it's just a little half circle cut out of this 2x4. Real simple construction in that. This is the table support 2, is what we just looked at. And the last section here is the table support itself. There's only a couple pieces in this and a couple of screws. And they're just nothing more than 2x4s. And they're cut to length. And gives us all the dimensions we need in the drawings. So that's about it for the plans. And this is again the hot wire tilt table construction manual. In the plans, you can it has a complete manual and all the drawings, and very well illustrated throughout. And only for $20 you can't beat it. You're not going to find a hot wire table that will tilt like this. There just isn't one out there until now. So take a look at the manual, take a look at the video here, think it over, and you can order plans directly from the tinkersworkshop.blogspot.com. And we hope we can help you out with your next project.